upbeat, slightly mysterious intro music fades. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Do you remember those cozy nights, tucked in bed, listening to fairy tales about charming princes, beautiful princesses, and happily ever afters? Well, what if I told you that the stories we know and love are actually the cleaned-up, sugar-coated versions of something much darker and more shocking? Today, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal the grim realities behind our favorite fairy tales. So, grab your popcorn, because things are about to get weird. Let's start with a classic, Cinderella. We all know the Disney version. A kind girl, a fairy godmother, a glass slipper, and a royal wedding. It's a beautiful story of hope. But in the original version, collected by the Brothers Grimm, there's no fairy godmother. Instead, a magical tree growing on her mother's grave grants her wishes. And the ending, it's far from charming. To make the slipper fit, one stepsister cuts off her toe, and the other slices off her heel. Ouch. But their plan fails when pigeons alert the prince to the blood pouring from the shoe. And for their happily ever after, the very same pigeons peck out the stepsister's eyes at Cinderella's wedding. Talk about karma. Next up, let's dive into the story of Sleeping Beauty. In the version we love, a kiss from a handsome prince wakes her from 100-year slumber. It's the epitome of romance. However, in an earlier Italian version called Sun, Moon, and Talia by Giambattista Bosel, the story takes a much more disturbing turn. The sleeping princess, Talia, isn't awakened by a kiss. Instead, a king finds her asleep in the castle, and, well, let's just say he takes advantage of the situation. She actually wakes up only after giving birth to twins, one of whom accidentally removes the splinter that caused her deep sleep. The king later returns, and his jealous wife tries to have the twins cooked and served to him for dinner. It's a shocking and grim tale that makes you appreciate the Disney version so much more. How about The Little Mermaid? We all remember Ariel, the spirited mermaid who trades her voice for legs to win Prince Eric's heart. In the Disney movie, she gets her prince and lives happily ever after. But Hans Christian Andersen, the original author, had a much more tragic vision. In his tale, every step the mermaid takes on her new legs feels like walking on sharp knives. That's a high price for love. And the stakes are even higher. If she fails to win the prince's true love and he marries someone else, she will dissolve into sea foam. Spoilers, he does marry a human princess. Her sisters bring her an enchanted dagger, telling her that if she uses it to end the prince's life and lets his blood drip on her feet, she can become a mermaid again. She can't bring herself to do it. Instead of becoming sea foam, though, her selfless act transforms her into an ethereal daughter of the air, with a chance to earn an immortal soul after 300 years of good deeds. It's a story about sacrifice and spiritual redemption, not just romantic love. These original tales were never really meant for kids. They were cautionary stories for adults, filled with warnings about jealousy, vanity, and the harsh realities of life back then. They reflect a world that was far more brutal and unforgiving than the one depicted in our colorful storybooks. It's fascinating how these stories have been sanitized and transformed over the centuries to become the bedtime stories we cherish. They remind us that even the most beautiful tales can have dark, hidden roots. What do you think? Do you know any other fairy tales with shockingly different original versions? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of folklore, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another video. Until next time, stay curious.